Hello, and welcome back to the podcast where you are invited for lighthearted conversations about things that matter as you seek to live your most meaningful, beautiful, and joyful life. I'm your host, Dr. Edie Wadsworth, and I hope you enjoy your stay here at the House of Joy.
Hello, everybody. Hi. Welcome back to the podcast. We are back for another fun, exciting, educational episode.
You're going to love this one, you guys. We're talking about your home. We're talking about your house of joy and some of the practical ways we create our house of joy. Right,
like
Emily?
Literally your house.
Like literally your house.
We're going to talking about your house today.
Getting it in order, making it beautiful, making it a house of joy, a place that you love to go to that feels cozy to you and cozy to your people. And I love talking about it this time of year because
it's
we're
the
headed
perfect
into
time
fall.
of year. You need, if there's a time to get your house cozy and in order, it's now. You know when it's fall and like, I don't know if everyone's like this, but for me, the best way I can relax, the best way I can feel cozy is if I've cleaned my whole house first and put on my diffuser, and then I can get into my bed or my couch.
Yes. So we're going to
the perfect time.
We're going to chat about it. I'm really excited about it. I think it's funny because we just had a house full of people here, which was so incredible and amazing. And because I kind of work on my house all the time, I mean, I've always got projects going on, but pretty much I feel like I've kind of gotten it to the ready point. Like, I don't feel like when somebody's coming over, it's like, well, I might still be working on something here or there. But in general, I feel like it's just ready to open up, ready to welcome people, ready to...
You're really good at a go as you, clean as you go.
Yes. But we're going to give you 5 tips today. I'm going to share with you some of the things that I've done over the years to really create a home that I love. And it's funny because Emme, when y'all were young, you used to give me some grief about how I decorate my house.
Well, decorate
the way I am really
clean.
Yeah, the way I'm like, I'm not even that fussy of a person, but certain things I do like to be in order. So
I remember the first chance I got when I turned like whatever age it was. I moved from upstairs with Ellie to downstairs or in the back room. I can't remember.
Yep.
I was like, finally, she's not decorating my room. Like, I can go rogue. And now I look back at the pictures of the room that I chose to decorate, and it was so not as cute as the rest of the house. But in my mind, like, the way that you put things together was not what a 12-year-old girl wanted. Like, it didn't match. It wasn't, like,
exactly perfect.
Boring, I guess is how I
And now she's like, oh, actually, I like our house.
I know. I wish you could just decorate we just want you to decorate our house, so.
And one of our prevailing messages, it's not one of our 5 points, but one of our prevailing take-homes for you today is, if you love it, it goes. So we have to stop asking ourselves, oh, what's in style? Oh, what do other people think is cool? No, you have to ask yourself, what would make it feel like my house? How do I like for things to look and feel and, be decorated? And that is literally the way I have always done it. Like, I have always been a little bit rogue when it comes to decorating, but then people will come in and go, oh, this looks so cool. I would never have thought to do that. Oh, and I don't follow any definite rules. I just, things that I love, that speak to my heart, that make me be able to live in a house that feels like an expression of my love, of me, of how I want to create something. I think we've all could embrace more of that.
Yes.
And not worry so much about the rules.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what I say.
I agree. And I think I was actually talking about Sydney about this last week because in my nature, it with style, with anything that has to do with like an expression of how you are, like with style, I'll put an outfit together and like I really feel like confident in it and I like it, and then I'll go ask someone like, okay, what do you think? And they're like, oh, I don't like that. Immediately I'll be like, oh wait,
oh, does it not
then
look
I
good?
go back, but I knew I liked it.
You're like, no, I do like it.
And I kind of wished I would have wore that. It's the same with like decorating.
Yes.
You know what you like.
You know what
really.
you like.
You can put something together, and I do it all the time. Like, I'll put an outfit together, or I'll put something in a certain way, and I know that I like it.
Yeah.
But then I ask for someone else's opinion, and of course, they're going to have a different opinion.
Yes.
I need to just be more
just more confident
In
that
my own-
like, no, I really do like this.
Yeah.
And so for me in my house, it goes because I like it. I remember when I was first starting to blog that this trend was going around where everything, well, it kind of still is.
I was about to say, no, it is definitely still a trend.
Everything's
right
neutral.
now.
Everything's white. And I tried that. Do you remember when I spray painted everything white for a while?
I can't really remember.
In the
'cause
other
in
house?
my head, like
Everything's always been
has
colorful.
like this.
Yeah. So,
But everything, when you're scrolling Instagram of like new house renovations,
It's
new
all
remodels,
neutral,
it's crazy. People will take these like beautiful historic houses with these like charm and like interesting details, which I get some things like being more clean or whatever, but
yeah.
everything is white or gray, and it's I don't like it personally, but
Yeah. And I have always loved color and embraced color. As you can see, if you're watching on YouTube, we're sitting in a green room right now, my friends.
I think it is interesting though, because I think a lot of people do the white and the neutral because it feels more clean to them or feels more
Yes.
put
It
together.
actually probably does feel a little more clean.
But I think you've proven like you can have a really put together, clean, like relaxing feeling space and it not be white.
Yeah.
It can have like a million different things. So I can't wait to hear.
Yeah.
your
So I'm
tips.
excited. So we're going to give you 5 tips that I think are going to help you create your house of joy. The first thing that I think is so important, we're doing a challenge for this, you guys, inside of Life Mentoring School this month. We're going to give you a secret link to join us. If you've been on the fence and wanting to join, you totally should, because this September challenge, Simplify in September, is all about this, but is to really ruthlessly declutter. Now, here's what I will tell you. Here's what I learned, because I love things. I am not a minimalist. I am, in fact, a maximalist.
Very much.
But I keep very specific collections of things, and I think you can still do that and it not feel cluttered. And I think if you ruthlessly declutter the things that you don't love, that you're not using, that, I mean, I've done this so many times in my house, so many times in my closet, so that it feels like you are surrounded by literally things that you love.
Yeah, I mean, you can have, like, I'm even looking over to this corner. Like, there's a lot of stuff, but, like, if you open a drawer, it's not full of random junk. It's, like, things that we use. A game. And if you
Some
go into
extra
your
glasses.
room, it's like, yeah, there's a lot of things, places as decoration. But if you open a drawer, if you open a closet, like, it is intentional stuff that you use and that you like.
Yeah.
And that does help for the most part. I mean, obviously, it's still a house.
Obviously, we have a couple closets
And
that
Tom
need
lives
help.
in this house, so there are still a lot of things. But I went through a period, because, you know, when you move into a house, it's hard at first. You're just trying to get your things together in any sort of way. But a couple months ago, I went through all of the stuff that I hadn't gotten to yet, of like, this is just in this corner. And not that much in my room changed, but I just like, I was ruthless. I threw away the stuff that I moved that I just didn't really need. I still need to go through my closet again.
Yep.
But my room felt so much cleaner.
Yes.
Even though like the furniture and everything had
Wasn't
really
that
stayed
different.
the same.
Yeah.
But there wasn't like corners of like
Piles of things.
Yeah.
Yes.
It
The
really
dreaded piles of things.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one of the things that helps me do this is I don't even know if you know where this is, but as you walk in our front door, there's a, what shall I call it?
Like a
Piece of furniture
yeah,
there.
dresser.
Yeah. And one of the doors of that are things that I'm constantly decluttering, getting rid of.
Oh.
Yep. So that, if you ever want to look in there and see if there's anything you want, Emily,
It's about to go.
it's about to leave the house. And so I think having a space where you can constantly be like, yeah, I don't really use that anymore, or, oh, this little corner needs a touch. And again, I think this is the perfect chance to do it as we're heading into fall, because we're going to talk about ways to make everything beautiful, but you won't feel like it's as beautiful as it could be if it feels really cluttered to you. So I've done this drastically. I remember the first time that I ever went through all my books, and you guys, I am a book fiend. We live in a little town called Bean Station with the tiniest library, And so when we moved here, I'm like, I'm having my own library. Like, I want the books
All the
that
books
I
I
want. But I have gone through my books 2 or 3 times and taken huge boxes of books to the to donate them. So keep what you love. You can still have collections of things that you love, but ruthlessly do it. This would be a great time to do this in your closet. This would be a great time to do this in your junk drawer. Everybody has one. This would be a great time to do this in your kitchen, to just really think about, how do I use this kitchen? How do I use these things? Do I need this? Do I want this? And so September is such a good time to do it. Your kids have probably, if you still have kids at home, they've probably gone back to school. So this doesn't take long. Here's what I think keeps us from doing this. We think, oh my gosh, this is going to take 7 hours. No, set a timer. Give yourself 15 minutes and see what you can do in 15 minutes. Give yourself 30 minutes and see what you can do. I promise you that you just set a timer, declutter something today. Like, take the smallest area and or take one category of things and just declutter that one thing. You can do it today. Set a timer. You will feel so good about yourself. If you
want to be extra ruthless, and I've experienced this myself, get someone in your life who sees you often, who knows you very well, to do it with you. Like, I got rid of double the amount of clothes
that you would have.
My roommate was with me, because she sees me, she knows what I wear.
She's like, you don't ever wear that.
You don't wear that. You're not going to wear that. And that really helped me, because they could see it immediately and be like, why do you want to keep that? You never wear it. You're not going to wear it.
Yeah.
That helps if you're really trying to get down to business, because you can even lie to yourself when you're decluttering.
Yes.
To be like, oh no, that's like, I will wear that.
Yeah.
If you haven't worn it in a year, girl, you're not going to wear it.
And if you think about, like, you guys just stayed in an Airbnb last weekend. We stay in them often. If you think about the reason why you like vacation homes, why it feels like, oh my gosh, this feels so elevated and so luxurious or whatever. The reason is there's not so much junk.
There's not a bunch of stuff around.
Yeah. Even in our house in Minnesota, people are always saying, oh my gosh, I love this house. Well, part of the reason is because we don't have a bunch of stuff there. So really massively, ruthlessly declutter different areas of your life. Take September to do it. Join us in Life Mentoring School. You can do it with us. And I promise you that the rest of the steps will feel so good. You'll get your house to this place that you love. And let me add one more thing. Often the reason why our spaces are cluttered is because our minds are cluttered. And often we tell ourselves, as I've told myself for years, well, I'm just messy. I'm just creative. And if you keep telling yourself that, your spaces will reflect that. So one of the things to practice is, how do you want to think about yourself and your house? And I just started practicing. Like, I am so organized. When I was little, I remember Aunt Gina, my sister, always had the tidiest room. And I thought, well, if I could just switch rooms with her, I'm sure it's just the room she's in. It's bigger. I'm sure if I was in that room, my room would always look like that too, of course. We switched rooms, and then, of course, mine became Messy Marvin room.
Yep.
That it always was.
And then you wanted to switch back.
But let me tell you something now. If you walked in both of our houses today, you would be hard-pressed to say which one was more organized, because I have trained myself, because I've been working on my mindset, I've trained myself to become an organized person, and it's crazy.
I used to do the same thing with Ellie, which is funny, because she was always the one. She actually kept a lot more stuff than me, but it was always more clean, and it was always more organized, and I would always go into her room and feel like, oh, I should have chose this room. This room is better.
The other crazy thing is, I hate to bring up a sore subject or you know, a deep subject, but after our house fire, you guys, here's what I realized. You really don't need much, because I think we're often keeping so many things, even in the realm of paperwork. Literally almost anything that you're keeping, you could reprint somewhere if you needed to.
Yeah.
So the amount of paperwork even that I keep is so much less than I've ever kept.
It is funny too. I will have, because basically all of our childhood, like, memorabilia was gone, you know, destroyed.
Yeah.
And it's funny, because I'll have maybe a thought every, not kidding, maybe 5 years, of where it's like, oh, I wish I had. But for the most part, I don't really. It's not like I'm going down memory lane every single day, once a month. Like, and if you're doing that, that's probably
that could be a problem.
That could be a problem. But you really don't need as much as you think. And you will feel a lot more free without lugging around all these things. When you move, that really shows, like, okay, I've just been stuffing that closet full of, like, things.
That's what you do. Pretend like you're going to move, everyone.
Yes.
That'll help you declutter.
Yes.
The second thing that I think will really help you create this is that once you get rid of a lot of things and once you really declutter and now you have your things that you know you want to keep, is to figure out ways to organize them that speak to you. And for everybody, this is different. I happen to be a type of person that everywhere that I am, I want there to be hooks because I have some ADHD. I don't want to have to like put something away where I've got to open 3 drawers. And, you know, if it's going to take me 5 minutes to put it away, I'm probably not going to put it away. If I can hang it on a hook, I can, you know, just make it easy for yourself, like understand yourself. The other thing that I did, this was several years ago when I first really started working on this, is I worked on spaces that were giving me problems. Like, raise your hand if you would be embarrassed for someone to open up underneath your kitchen sink. I just wanted that space to feel like I wasn't embarrassed to open it when somebody was here, or when you open it, you couldn't, there's so many things smashed in there. So I got these really cute containers from the Container Store, and now I love opening underneath my kitchen sink. It's really cute and organized.
It's really organized.
Yeah.
Pretty much now in your house, pretty much every closet you open is like organized.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
good.
it's just so much better. And it can be a process. If you're a person like me who thinks of yourself as naturally kind of messy or creative or whatever, this is something that is doable for you. And I have over the years just kept doing it and kept working at it. And still, I'm the type of person that I'll have little areas where things will still tend to pile up. And I'll think about, instead of like beating myself up for it, I'll think about like, there's something about this system that's not working for me.
What do I need to
What
do?
else can I try?
Yeah.
And just be willing for it to be like some trial and error until you figure out how you want to do it. The other thing that I will say that I think helps me, because I'm such a visual person and I'm such a person who is motivated by the way things look, and I'm really affected by the way they look, that if I make it pretty, it will be so much easier for me to keep. So think about, like, when you're organizing things, how can you make it prettier? How can you elevate it? Like, I have in my pantry, the open pantry, I invested in some really good jars with labels. And because it's pretty, it's easier for me to keep up. So when I go to the grocery store and I get rice or I get oats, I don't want to store those in the package they come in, because the storage where they're at my house is open storage. So I want to decant those into something that's pretty. And it's amazing how just that step, those that I have in the pantry, like where I have my flour and my sugar and all of that, is decanted into really pretty glass jars with labels. If you do it like that, it's so much easier to maintain it because you like it to be pretty.
Yeah. And then you probably eat more of it too.
Yeah. And then you see it. So you actually probably use it before it goes bad.
Yeah.
So I think that sorting things that are alike, keeping things that are alike in one place, and making it as pretty as you need it to be for you to enjoy it and keep it organized. Because this is the other thing. I've done this so many times. I have created a system that then was too hard to keep up.
Yeah, it was too complicated.
It's too complicated.
Yeah, and you're not going to do it.
I've
done that before for sure.
Oh, yeah. One time I created these notebooks, you guys, and I spent forever buying these notebooks, printing these elaborate labels. I had like 14 notebooks, and I was going to store all my paperwork and put punch holes in it and store everything in there. I saw it on like some YouTube decorating thing, or, organizing thing. I spent forever doing it, and then I got to like the third notebook. I'm like, this is going to take me literally my whole life to do.
Well, and also it's like our type of personalities, like you get a rage of motivation for maybe a 2-hour stint. Mm-hmm. You better be able to finish what you started in that 2-hour stint, and those types of things. Yeah, you're gonna get halfway through.
If it takes me that long to even create the system, it's probably not gonna work.
Probably not gonna work. Yeah, and I've had to really learn that about myself. Like if I'm in a fit of motivation, like there's all these memes where it's like when you're 3 hours into your cleaning motivation and all of it deflates and you're
Yes.
sitting there and everything's scattered on the floor
Yes.
and you have gloves on and your goggles and like you don't want to do it anymore, but
You're
have
done.
to. Yeah, I've had to learn like, okay, if I'm going to start something, I really need to be able to finish it in a amount of time that makes sense, or else I'm never going to finish it. And then it's even more messy because now all of the stuff I was going to organize is like out not being organized.
Yes. So true. So anyways, however that works for you, there's somebody that I follow on YouTube. That I follow 2 organizing people. Clutterbug is one of them. And she has this system she'll kind of tell you what kind of organizing person you are. And it helped me understand myself. It's like, oh, that's why those notebooks never worked for me. I need something where I can throw paper in a basket or, loosely have it organized, in a box of some kind. But I'm never the person who's going to like punch holes in everything and get notebooks out and put it in there. So figuring out your way of organizing that works for you is really good. I'm like not super detailed. So I don't want things that require a lot of detail. So that will help. Third thing is then after you have things decluttered and you have them organized is to make it beautiful. And I love thinking of making it beautiful by the season. So I think there's a lot of different ways that you can do this, but we're headed into fall, and all I can think about is having, little candles. We're going to talk about diffusers in the next point, but things that have light because it's about to get dark.
Yes.
And darker earlier. And I want like this really rich ambiance in my house. We're sitting today with this amazing throw that is furry. So as you're heading into fall, think about like, okay, how can I add little touches to make this more fall? Now, if you are, this is great. I am not the type of person who's going to go to TJ Maxx and buy a sign that says it's fall, y'all, and hang that up. Because for me, I don't really want things that I have to like switch out the actual decor so much.
Yeah.
I just like adding touches
Have something
that make it
is the
feel
vibe.
fall. So I don't know if you noted. Well, you guys told me upstairs that glass, that brown
that
glass
thing.
vase I bought, so pretty for fall.
Yeah.
And you could use it anytime too.
But I will say, for those of you who are like, I kind of have a little bit of I
It's
want
fall,
some
y'all.
fall. Maybe not.
It's fall, y'all
but
vibes.
Some like maybe some. I don't know. We'll see if I go to TJ Maxx. But you do not want to put those things up in a dirty, cluttered house.
Right.
So it is true. Like no matter what you want to add in, you can't really add in until you have like.
Yeah.
Well, at least like it doesn't feel as good to add those beautiful things if you have not done the 2 before.
And I know I talk about her a lot, but my good friend Michael and Smith, the Nester, her whole program is based on decorating by seasons. And so I've learned a lot from her in this area. I was never the person to buy the like fall signs or something that was like super overtly fall. But what I do is when I'm out somewhere, I'm looking at something like, oh, that could be a serving piece, just like we did for this weekend. I could use this vase if we're having an engagement party, but it also has a little bit of a fall vibe. Like looking for things that could double as serving pieces, decor, that you could change out the flowers in them or change out the leaves in them. I'm very well known for chopping half of a walnut tree down outside and sticking that in a vase and calling that fall decoration or whatever. So I think bringing in natural elements, bringing in elements that sort of reflect the season, I think really, really goes a long way.
Yeah, you'll sometimes chop in like when the leaves are changing. You'll get like the orangey flowers.
Yes.
Like that literally is fall.
Yes.
So of course it's going to be fall decoration.
I don't know if you remember this, but when we lived in our other house, there was this gorgeous, these gorgeous plants over on our fence row, and it looked like it was the most beautiful shade of like orange and kind of that burnt orange, just different shade, and then some of it was already yellow. So I went and chopped all of this and I stuck it in this huge vase on the kitchen table. It was one of the most glorious table decorations that I ever created. And Dad came home from work and goes, "Why is there poison ivy on the table?" And I'm like, "Oh."
Ew.
So sorry.
Sorry.
So don't chop up the poison
Make
ivy.
sure it's not poisonous before you bring it into
Make
your
sure
home.
it's not going to give you an itchy rash. But the other thing that I think is really cool, again, that I've learned from the Nester and other people that I follow online about home is that making food that feels seasonal and filling your house with like, you know,
The
you're
aroma.
we made some banana bread yesterday. It felt like it's almost fall. Let's bake some banana bread. We made that sheet pan dinner. Like, I think adding in foods that feel that way really brings so much coziness in. It's beautiful. Like, even with food, I like to go, how can we make this? How can this be beautiful and be, you know, something that nourishes us? So yeah, I love thinking about after we've decluttered and after we've organized, bringing in things that you love that make it beautiful. And then the fourth thing is to really make it a feast for the senses. So when I say this, I'm thinking of even music. Like, think of how music in your house
Oh, yeah.
can so just add a totally beautiful
Different.
atmosphere
Yes,
or different
it does.
atmosphere.
Yeah, it's really crazy. I watched this girl and she was making a pot of soup on Instagram, but she had like Frank Sinatra in the background.
Yes!
And a candle going, and like immediately
You're
the
like,
cozy vibes.
cozy.
Like, yeah, it totally makes the space feel different.
It totally makes it feel different. I've gotten to the point now, thank goodness, where Stevie has little speakers set up where I can just tell Siri to play something, and that is so fun, especially as the seasons change. Because I love summer, you guys. Summer is probably my favorite season. And as summer is leaving, it can be really sad, like, oh my gosh. But then just a few things that I've done in the last few days, a couple of things like, again, adding some chopped limbs that are starting to look like fall, cooking something that feels like fall. I got a few non-scented candles that I've been burning. Like, all of those things I think can help you like bring in a new season. So think to yourself, what can I add visually? Can I add little areas of, you know, lighting or candles or whatever? And I don't like toxic candles, but there's a lot of candles that you can burn that, or I have a lot of those
Just the little
LED kind of electric candles. I have tons of those. So adding things like that, music for, you know, music, the textures that you're adding for that season. And of course, like, part of this for me is plants. Like, I know that if you've been to my house or you've seen my house, I'm obsessed with plants.
Sure is.
She sure is. And that can just add so much texture and so much visual interest to your house. So yeah, think about the senses. Like, what can I add that really speaks to the senses? Part of that I want to say is I kind of have a rule at my house that there needs to be a diffuser in every room.
And you could challenge her. You could walk around, and there might be 2 or 3.
A
But
diffuser
there
or 2 or 3
there
in every room.
Literally is a diffuser in every room. And new people that come here, they're like, it literally feels like a spa. I feel like I'm at a spa.
Yep.
And that is from the diffusers. I can attest it's from the essential oils in this house.
Did we
Probably
not?
from the plants too, but
Did we or did we not send our dear friend Colin home with a diffuser and some starter oils?
yeah, we might just send you home with one.
We just might send you home with one.
And
So
he
come
did
visit.
send me a text. He said, my house has never smelled so good. So
Yes.
they really do help. And now I live in a little tiny house, like 1 floor. And we have, I think, we've accumulated like 6 diffusers in our, maybe more. Okay, well, so we have like a lot, actually. We probably have like 12 in our 1 floor house. And people walk in there too. It's like so inviting to walk into a space that's like, it's not overpowering. It's not like gonna make you have a headache or anything like that.
Yeah.
And it just smells so light. And Young Living just came out with a fall bundle. They have so many good fall oils.
They have a brand new pumpkin spice oil that's so good. I'm gonna share as one of my favorites today the blend that I'm loving that you add Christmas spirit to. Yeah.
Like, there's so many
So many good
ways
ones.
to also have the smell immediately bring up the fall vibes.
Yep.
So having a diffuser, like more than one in your house, you can get them from literally anywhere, but they are so helpful
so
for
good.
the scent.
Add such a coziness. And last thing that I want to say about your home is add something quirky or unexpected that reflects you, somebody you love, or whatever. I think that, I don't know if you would agree with this, Em, but I've always had people go, oh, that's interesting. Like I have this huge bust of David in the kitchen that holds, I used to have it forever. I brought it down here now, but it used to hold like all of our spatulas.
Yeah.
And then I brought it down to the honky tonk room, and during Thanksgiving and Christmas, we'll put huge like pine branches in there. And now he's wearing a little ribbon around his neck. I have pictures of Dolly. We have a huge thing of Johnny Cash. There's so many things in this house. I have that huge, what would you call it? Piece of art in my office that everybody loves and comments on that says, what does it say? It's Freddie Mercury. It's from one of his songs. Freddie says all you have to do is fall in love.
Yes.
And it's huge, and the writing is huge, and it's just like quirky.
It's very much, it's you. It's something you would pick out. And it's the same thing as like, you know, not everyone's going to love it. Not everyone is going to be like, oh, I would put that in my house. But it's so you, and people walk in and you immediately like it because it reflects who you are. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think adding things that are kind of unexpected, or adding things in unexpected places, again, like a bust of David is now holding your spatulas. Like that feels a little unexpected. Or like I have this thing, everybody always comments, I have this thing on my stove that's a little pig, a little wooden pig. That's where I put my salt when I'm cooking. It's like my salt pig.
Yes.
Everybody that has ever been to my house has been like, where'd you get that pig? That's so cool.
Yeah.
I have breadboards. Like I think, you know, like there's certain things that I love that's like a repeating sort of.
It's throughout the house. Yes.
Big giant plants where you're like, wow, that's just like a big giant tree.
Just like on the table. Okay.
So we will link, by the way, to our Amazon store, because we have so many of our favorite little things like in our Amazon store that I love. There's a lot of them that are especially for fall. I love this pillow for fall, you guys, if you're watching on YouTube. This is an Amazon. It's like the texture of it. It's like you did a hooked.
Yes.
It's like a hooked needle project. Yeah, but it says love on it. So anyways, we have a lot of our favorites linked in there. And then we also will link our Young Living account. If you want to get diffusers or oils, we're going to talk about some of our favorite fall blends here in just a second. So anyways, I hope those 5 things will help you really create your house of joy. But let me tell you something. Really what brings the magic to your house is you. The love that you have, the joy that you bring, your personality, your influence. So much of it is like really you are the one that brings that. And so if you're, because I have friends who like are in the midst of moving, or who are in a house that it feels like it's hard to make it how they want, or they don't love it right now. Don't let that stop you from creating corners in your house, a place that you really enjoy, that feels like you, where you can add these elements in, even if it feels like, you know, too overwhelming to do like the whole house. Just create a little space that can make you feel that way. And I think it will.
Yeah, really I agree. I think it's all about the intention you bring to it.
Yep, like everything else. And we are going to put a link in if you want to join us in Life Mentoring School this month for our Simplify September Challenge. It's so fun in there, you guys. I know a bunch of you have been on the fence. You've been wanting to join us. Your time is now. So we're going to put a fun little link just for our podcast listeners for you to come join us for that challenge.
Yay, that's exciting.
It's so fun. And now we're going to do our 3 things.
Okay, I think
I only have 1 or 2. We might do 3 total.
3 total.
What do you got?
Because I only have 1. I actually brought her in here with me because I was using it before we started. But my favorite lip liner color is, like, I literally use it no matter what. I probably should just get one more of a different color, but I just think this goes with my skin tone. I think it goes with any outfit I'm wearing. I'm literally not even wearing like mascara or eyebrows right now, and I still put it on. I don't care. But it's the MAC Soar lip liner.
Spell it. S-O-A-R?
S-O-A-R.
Okay.
Soar. Like you're
the
flying.
Soar lip liner. Fly high, my friend.
What I like to do is like put it on my lips and like take my finger and like rub it in. I don't go full on. And then I use the lip gloss that I talked about, or that I will talk about, I'm not sure. And it's just perfect every time. Another thing I want to talk about that is one of my favorite things, and it's just like not really a thing, but I have not been into wearing mascara or eyebrows. Like, I basically only like the way, and I was proven this weekend when we went to the UT game.
Mm-hmm.
I went out on a limb because it was going to be so hot at the game. And I was like, I'm just going to put on, like, my base makeup. I do this every day, but usually not if I'm, like, going somewhere or taking pictures or, like, putting on a fancy outfit. I usually do the whole shebang. But I was like, I'm just going to put on my base makeup. So, like, concealer, blush, bronzer, and then no eyeshadow. Or I put a little bronzer on, but no, like, liner, no mascara, no eyebrows. I just feel so much more myself that way. I don't know why. Eyebrows and mascara make me feel, like, dirty. It makes my face feel almost, like, dragging. Like, even I wore it for my engagement party because it's like, I can't not wear mascara. But I look at the pictures and I don't love it as much. Like, I just feel like my face.
That is true freedom, Emily.
I just feel like I don't. And I started testing it with, because I'm like, okay, if I can wear lip color and no mascara and no eyebrows, like, I'm not doing it anymore. And I really tested it out this weekend, and I just feel more myself. I feel like my face features are just lighter. I don't really I feel like the mascara. I do think I'm going to try to do brown mascara. Okay. Because maybe that's like a little less harsh.
Yep.
But that was just a fun tidbit. I think I'm not going to pressure myself to do that anymore because I literally don't like it ever.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is bold news right there. Hot take.
We are so opposites.
I know. I'm like, Katie asked me, she does our marketing and social media, so she asked me to film something, and I'm like, sorry, just took off my eyelashes.
We can't do it.
We can't do it. Okay. Couple of things that I want to mention is this website called Headwest Prints. I got my howdy sign from them, and I'm about to purchase another print from them. Go check out their stuff. I love it. The howdy sign is the sign that I have in the camp room.
Actually, which is so people cute. Ask me that all the time, and I did not know that.
So. Headwest Prints. Love that place. And then I wanted to mention a couple of fall diffuser blends that we're loving. Okay, first one, you guys, is this. Now listen, take notes when I say this. Pink Champagne has been my favorite blend for a long time.
It's an oil blend that Young
Living makes in a roller form. They haven't been selling it in the regular bottle, so I've been making it myself. And for fall, I'm adding Christmas spirit to it. So here's what I do. I take like a 10 ml dropper bottle. You can order those on Amazon. If you don't have that, you could just mix it into an almost or halfway gone bottle of grapefruit. So I take half a bottle of grapefruit, about a third or fourth a bottle of orange oil. I add a drop or two of jasmine, a drop or two of ylang ylang, and then add about 8 to 10 drops of Christmas spirit to make it fall. So if you don't add the Christmas spirit, that's what I've been using all summer, all spring. I've been using that blend so much. If you add the Christmas spirit, it adds this hint of fall. Another one that I love for fall is mixing Christmas spirit with Stress Away. If you've never tried this, it is the most epic blend because it gives that sort of Christmas spirit fall blend a little bit of lime and vanilla because Stress Away has lime and vanilla. There's something about that blend that is so extra magical, I cannot even tell you. And then Young Living just came out with one, which is called Pumpkin Spice. So those three, my faves right now. And then I think that's all for me. Do you have anything else?
I don't have anything else.
Okay.
But I loved those, and I'm about to literally order more Christmas spirit because I think I ran out.
Yeah.
But I
So
love
there
the
you go.
fall vibes.
Love it all, you guys. Okay, I hope you have enjoyed this episode. Go make that house so cozy, you guys.
Full
You
of
bring
joy.
the magic and create your own house of joy. We have loved having you here today with us. Thank you for all your comments. Thank you when you leave us a review, you guys. If you haven't left a review yet, it's so
Please.
easy.
It's
Just
so
scroll down
helpful.
on your Apple or Spotify app, and you can leave us a quick review there. Thank you so much for joining us. We love you. We'll see you next time.
We love you so much.
Bye.
Bye.